Good evening. Thanks for being here. This was the morning after for Premier Gordon Campbell. Less than 24 hours after he caught the province off guard with his surprise resignation, he tried to answer the question, why? 4 months he had been under pressure to quit. But when he finally pulled the plug yesterday, he had high approval ratings within his own party and what he says was the full support of his caucus. Tonight, the Liberals say they are ready to move forward into the future, but most of the cabinet is sticking to the one policy that has been holding them back. A-News reporter Shachi Curl has the story tonight from Richmond.
You're going to miss this, I bet.
Oh, I'm going to really miss you guys a lot, yeah.
He definitely won't miss the questions. There were more today, and while we may never get a totally candid answer to why Gordon Campbell quit so suddenly, the Premier was clear about why he didn't.
Was there some internal pressure from your caucus to resign?
No, first let me talk about the caucus. I've been leader of the party for 17 years. I've always had support of caucus.
Apparently, he had the support of his party, too. Late last night, BC Liberals revealed Campbell had recently been endorsed by 84% of party membership, just ahead of the now cancelled convention. In spite of that, he says he's not leaving his faithful in the lurch.
The party executive I think it's fair to say, were surprised when I talked to them directly yesterday. But they certainly understand, and I think they're all going to find that they're pretty excited about the opportunities that will be created by a leadership race, by new people who can come forward and provide new leadership, and I think it's sensible to have a good transition at this point.
But only if would-be leaders would declare their intentions. So are you considering a run?
Well, too early to say for sure. Lots of people are thinking about it. I'm thinking about it.
I think you just hope good people step forward and decide to take on this very difficult job.
I think it's too early for that, but I'm sure you can stand by and people will come to the forefront that have an interest in that particular area.
That's not something I really want to talk about today. I think this week is really, about celebrating the 10 years of leadership that we've had under Gordon Campbell.
Indeed, the day after a momentous change at the top, the talk was only about staying the party course.
Can the HST survive this?
I think that the HST is absolutely the right thing to do.
We are going to continue to govern, guided by one overriding principle, and that is building a strong economy. The Premier is in place. He has agreed to stay on until a replacement has been found.
The fact is, Campbell's not going away anytime soon. With a leadership convention months away, the party line will be towed. And while the Premier says he's leaving in part for the good of his caucus, how much longer will his caucus continue to back the policies he thought were so good?
And Shachi Curl joins us now from Vancouver, where the Premier took on the media this morning before meeting with his caucus at YVR. Shachi, we're learning a little more about the next steps in the leadership process. Fill us in on that.
Well, Hudson, what we do know is that convention that had been planned for Penticton November 19th to 21st has been canceled, and that means the leadership convention will go ahead. We're hearing sometime in the spring. So what does that mean? That means Gordon Campbell is going to be Premier through another throne speech where he will set out another set of priorities and through another budget process before we get a new leader of the BC Liberal Party and presumably a new Premier. Whoever is chosen leader will be the next Premier as well. Campbell says after the leadership convention, once he is no longer Premier, he will stay on as MLA, sitting on the backbenches as the representative for Vancouver Point Grey. We'll have to see how long that lasts. Now, one thing that we did press the Premier on during his availability this morning was to give us a single defining moment. You know, when did you know it was time to go? And we heard all kinds of things, but we kept at him. Finally, he said that he had been south of the border in California with his son and his grandson in the last week. He was spending time with them, and that's when it just sort of hit him that it was time to go, that he'd had enough, and he made his big announcement yesterday. Hudson.
All right, Shachi, thank you.